Rich. I'm sorry, I didn't think you'd be in this early. I was leaving these here so you could take a look at them when you came in. But, I assume you'd rather discuss it later. Good Lord, what happened to your hand?
Am I wrong? Or are you getting very cozy with Bill Spencer?
I'm seeing Bill, if that's what you're asking.
How long has he known about this?
Not very long.
Well, is he the hell satisfied now?
You're blaming Caroline's father for this?
If he'd stayed out of our lives, Caroline and I would have been married months ago, and this never would have happened.
Ridge, don't even start with that kind of logic because you will lose, I promise. Listen, you were the one who couldn't do without sex, without having your final fling. Are you really any better than he is? All right. Maybe I'm off base.
This is not sex. It's sick.
Well, at least we agree on one thing.
I think they should castrate the whole damn bunch of them.
I'm sorry. I know you must be going through hell.
Forget me. What about Caroline? God, Caroline, of all people.
Have you seen her yet?
No.
Well, I assume you will today. Ridge, I wish there was something that I could do for both of you. Well, I guess I should be going.
Margo. Come by later and we'll go over those dresses.
Morning, Katie.
Hi.
So, did Storm leave yet? Katie? Did Storm? Oh, my God. I knew it was gonna happen sooner or later.
Why? I mean, I can understand the papers wanting to print important news, things we ought to know about, but something like this? What's it gonna do except embarrass the person they're writing about? What if it were you? And they printed that you'd been raped, and they put your picture in, and they told everyone a lot of stuff about you? You gotta know it's only the beginning.
Katie's right. It is only just the beginning.
Caroline, I'm sorry. I didn't...
It's okay. Don't be. Look, I don't like it either. It's everything that you said it was. Humiliating, embarrassing. I mean, knowing that every time that I leave this house to go anywhere, people are going to recognize me. And only God knows what'll be going through their heads. Wondering, did he really do it? Or did I lure him on? But then, you know, there is another side to this. It is important for people to know, for women to know, so they can be aware of the danger out there and to be careful.
Still, that is no reason for them to print the names of the victims or their pictures. It just isn't fair. Just to sell a few newspapers?
I have to agree with Brooke. I mean, you've been through enough, now you're facing a trial. You shouldn't have to deal with what everyone else in the world thinks about it, too.
Have you heard from him yet?
Heard from who?
The rich dude, Rich Forrester. Who do you think? Well, have you?
The bold and the beautiful. This portion sponsored by Oreo Big Stuff. With lots of cookie and lots of cream, it's the big Oreo to go.
Rocco, you're not answering me.
Well, I'm just surprised you're here.
Why?
Well, after last night, I wasn't sure if you were mad at me or not.
Well, you shouldn't have followed me to the ladies' room, if that's what you mean. Especially with Mark and Katie there. Rocco, not a good move.
Yeah, Did Mark say something?
Mark said a lot.
I still meant what I said last night. You got a better place. Someone who cares about you a lot. Whenever you're ready, you just...
Well, don't worry about me. I can handle Mark.
Good.
But hey, you still haven't told me. Have you heard from Mr. Forrester?
No.
Still? Rocco, I can't believe this. What's this guy's story, anyway?
Well, he's one of the head honchos at Forrester. I mean, you can't exactly expect a guy to drop everything just to call me.
Why not? You saved his life, not to mention his girlfriend's. If it weren't for you, they could have been beaten or mugged or...
Look, I didn't know the guy was a big shot, right? I was just glad I could help.
Yeah, but he is. And he told you to call him, that he owed you one.
It's only been a couple days. He might still call.
2 days. Rocco, I cannot believe you're not ticked off about this.
Look, either he calls me or he doesn't. Simple. Calls me or he doesn't.
Well, what really worries me right now is his family. Now that it's in the papers, you know the press is not going to let up until it's over. I don't want this family caught up in all that publicity.
Caroline, it is not going to be a problem.
But it is. Don't you understand? Ron Deacon is out of jail. He's walking the streets. What if he shows up here?
Storm will take care of him.
And what if Storm isn't home?
Well, then the rest of us will deal with him. But Caroline, it is not going to happen.
You don't know that. I can't, and I won't put this family in that kind of jeopardy. There's no question that it's time for me to move.
Caroline, please. We all want you here. You're like one of the family now. Please let us help you.
Katie, you already have so much more than you know. And that's why I have to leave before something happens. This family's friendship means too much to me.
Hello? Yes, she is. Just a minute. Caroline, it's for you.
Oh. Hello?
Caroline Spencer?
Yes?
Miss Spencer, my name is Jeff Talon. I work for the district attorney's office, and I'm going to be prosecuting your case. I'd like to get together with you as soon as possible.
Oh, of course, Mr. Talon.
Would it be convenient for me to come over now?
Now?
Miss Spencer, the sooner we get started on this, the better. I can be there in, say, half an hour.
All right. I'll be waiting for you. Thank you, Mr. Talon. That's the man who's prosecuting my case. He's on his way over.
Well, they certainly act fast.
Yeah, he wants to get started right away.
Do you want me to stay here while you talk with him?
Oh, thanks, but I think it's okay. I'm sure he just wants to ask me some questions. I guess I have to get used to this. I'm really going to be alone when I'm in the courtroom.
Excuse me. Could you please tell me where I could find Ridge Forrester's office?
It's over there. Do you have an appointment? Miss, you can't go in there. Miss!
Are you Mr. Forrester?
Which one? There are a lot of them around here.
Mr. Forrester, I'm sorry. I told her she couldn't come in here.
I want to talk to Mr. Forrester, Rich or Ridge or whatever his name is.
It's all right, Claire. I'll see her. Now, what can I do for you?
You're Ridge Forrester?
That's right.
Well, you must really think you're something.
Beg your pardon?
But you're not. You know, as far as I'm concerned, you're about as low as they come.
Have we met?
No. But you do know a friend of mine. A guy who saved your life and your girlfriend's. You know, he could have been killed himself. And what kind of thanks do you give him? A big, fat, cold shoulder.
Now, wait a minute.
You know, even if I could afford your clothes, I wouldn't wear them. Because you
Now,
think...
hold on. Thank you. Now, this friend of yours wouldn't happen to be...
Rocco Carner. He tried to call you. You really don't remember.
Of course I remember. I didn't right away when I first got his message, but later on I put it together. That night in the garage when he fought off those muggers.
Yes, that's right.
Well, I did mean to return his call. But something very important came up here. When I got back to my office, I couldn't find his number. I was hoping that he'd call back.
You were?
Yes. In fact, I'm very glad that you're here right now because you can give me his number again.
So then you really are going to see him?
Yes, I really am going to see him.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. You know, I didn't mean some of those things that I said.
Why don't you write down your friend's name and phone number? And you can tell him that I'll contact him as soon as I can.
This is a number where he can be reached at work. And, I really am sorry that I came on so strong.
Don't worry about it. Sometimes you have to fight for what you want in this world, huh? I'm learning that myself more and more every day.
Miss Spencer,
Yes.
I'm Jeff Talon from the DA's office. We spoke on the phone.
Yes, please, come in.
Sorry about the short notice, but I wanted us to meet as soon as possible. And I felt you'd be a little more comfortable if we met someplace familiar to you.
I appreciate that.
I understand you've been staying here with the Logan family. Will you be going back to live at your own apartment?
No. I haven't been back there since it happened.
You have a hard time saying you were raped, don't you?
It isn't easy for me, especially with strangers.
Suppose it becomes necessary for us to go back to your apartment. Would you be able to handle that?
I don't honestly know. It would depend on what you mean by necessary.
In the trial of a case like this, certain things may become necessary if we want to win.
Why do I get the idea that you're trying to prepare me for something?
Maybe because I am.
Mr. Talon, if you have something to say, then just say it. I am not as fragile as you may think. If we are going to work on this case together, I need to know everything I possibly can. I don't want you to hold anything back.
Margo, come on.
What? Okay, Donna, what is going on? Look, I was in the middle of taking an order.
I want to know if you've heard anything yet.
Heard what?
Rocco, you are not going to believe it. You're just not going to believe it.
Why do you think you have a hang-up about going back to your apartment?
Because it would be like living the nightmare through again.
And you don't want to do that?
Not if I can help it.
You know that's what's going to happen in the courtroom.
Yes, I've thought about that.
Why do you think you can face one but not the other?
Because the trial is necessary. Look, don't misunderstand me, Mr. Talon. I value my privacy very highly. In fact, there was a time when I wasn't sure I could even go through with this.
But you decided that prosecuting Deacon was more important than your privacy, am I right?
Yes.
Why?
Have you seen Ron Deacon yet?
Only for a moment. In the courtroom at the bond reduction hearing.
He makes a nice impression, doesn't he?
No defendant makes a nice impression as far as I'm concerned. But then I guess that's my job. Please, go ahead with your point.
The man isn't human. If I compared him to snakes, I would be doing snakes an injustice. Because at least with them, you know that they're dangerous. This man has to be stopped.
Is this some sort of crusade?
That man hurt me, Mr. Talon, more than I ever thought was possible. Yes, I want to see him punished. Is there anything wrong with that? But I also want to make certain that he never does this to anyone else, ever. If you call that a crusade, then yes, I'm on a crusade.
So am I. Think you can work with me on this?
You lead and I'll follow.
Lessons start 8:30 in my office tomorrow morning.
All right.
Donna, what is going on?
I went to see him.
Oh!
Mr. Forrester, who do you think?
You went to see Forrester?
Uh-huh. Rocco, you would not have believed it. He was so nice. And he wants to talk to you.
Are you kidding?
No! He wanted to call you back, but he lost your phone message. Anyway, it was really lucky I went down there.
Well, what?
Rocco, what are you doing? You got customers out here.
Okay, Stace. Look, you take care of him for me, and then I'll come out and okay, we'll talk. What do I do?
Nothing. I gave him your number here, and he said he'd call.
When?
How about right now?
Griffey's.
May I speak to Rocco Carner?
You got him.
Rocco, this is Rich Forrester.
Yes, sir, Mr. Forrester.
Hey, I'm sorry I kept you waiting, and I wanted very much to return your call.
Oh, hey, no, that's no problem. It's...
By the way, a friend of yours came by here and practically read me the riot act. But you can tell her from me that I'm glad she came by. So, do you have any free time this afternoon?
This afternoon?
Well, I'd like us to meet and talk about what I can do for you. Like I said, I owe you one for that night in the garage.
Yeah, sure, this afternoon would be great. What time?
How about 2 o'clock?
Cool. You got it, I'll be there. Bye. It's happening! It's really happening!
Hey, you still work here or what? Because
Yes! Stacy, the witch man! I mean, you must have seen most absolutely fabulous day of my life. Done. Mr. Forster, you are never gonna be the same again. Not after you meet Rocco Corner. And I owe it to you.
Rocco, you don't have anything yet.
I got a chance. So I need one little chance. And then watch me go.
Join us again for The Bold and the Beautiful,